What's going on, guys? Motonosity here, and welcome to the build series for Honda Grom Edition. Now, if you're new to the channel or you just forgot, the build series, the show that I do here on my channel, is the most popular motorcycle build series on YouTube. Totaling now, across all the builds that I have done, the CRF, the Ruckus, and the R3, over 11 million views. I looked at it earlier today, I could not believe it. But yeah, 11 million total views across all of the episodes of the Supermoto build series, the slammed Ruckus GY6, and the R3 Street Fighter. And that's all thanks to you guys. You joined me as we started a trend back in 2015 with the CRF 450R Supermoto conversion that I did. And you still see that bike here on the channel along with the Ruckus. And the R3 was the first bike that I did that was a giveaway bike. We've already given it away. It's still in my garage. We're arranging shipment, and the Grom is gonna be no different. The Grom at the end of the series is gonna be given to one of the supporters of the series. And you can join in over on Patreon. I'll link that at the top of the description. There's a few different tiers, and I'll go over all of that in just a few minutes. But you can get different perks. You can join in on live streams, and you can have a say in how this turns out. In my last video, I mentioned to you guys, it's not what I mentioned to you guys, sorry. In the last video, I told you guys that with all my builds, I kind of have an end vision. I have an image of the bike on how I want it to look when it's done. But a lot of the more minor details, things like brands, colors, specific things on the bike, that's where you guys come in, and the Patreons that support the series and help fund these things so that I can give them away to you guys. We decide those over on Discord and do polls over on Patreon. You guys can be a part of that. But what exactly is the build series? Well, back in 2015 when I first started the CRF 450 Supermoto that I built, I got that bike because I wanted to build a powerful Supermoto. And I just decided that I wanted to bring you guys along, showing you the entire process as I kind of learned to work on the bike. We tore the whole thing down and built it up from scratch with a ton of new parts. And with that build, I kind of started the feel for how I did every build series after that. What I like to try to do is show you guys some of the awesome brands that are making parts for these bikes, some of the things that you guys can do yourself, and kind of make something super unique, but still possible for you guys to do yourself. Sometimes I do like to customize these things, and you're gonna have to get your hands a little bit dirty. The Ruckus was probably the most custom that we did because we kind of did a lot of frame modifications on that bike. But for the most part, you guys can follow along, and if you wanna build the exact same thing that I'm building, you can. All you gotta do is follow along, and all the videos are there for you guys to learn what I'm learning, and at the same time build the bike that you want to build. You can do little bits and pieces, you can do the entire thing, or maybe you just don't want to build a bike at all, you just want to follow along and watch the build, and that's cool too. I appreciate all you guys who watch the series. It's been an incredible past 3 years that I've been doing these builds, and I'd like to do more of them. You guys make that possible. So you might be wondering how you can win this bike that we build. So as I mentioned, I can do these giveaways on these bikes because these series are funded on Patreon, but the Patrons that support the series. Patreon is a website for you guys to support the creators that are making the content that you guys really like to consume. And there's a few different tiers that you can support at, and you can support for as many episodes as you want. You can support for 1, you can support for 5, you can support for the entire series that we do. And at the end of the series, the total dollar amount that you support over on the Patreon page will be the number of entries that you have into the giveaway. So as I mentioned, we got different tiers over on Patreon. We have the $1 tier, the $5 tier, and the $15 tier. And each of those levels are gonna give you access to more things, give you access to earlier videos, live streams, access to the Discord so you guys can actually interact with everyone that's supporting on the series and have a say in what we do. Now, if you guys have been following along the channel, you know that I recently moved from Texas out here to Georgia, and so we got a little bit different of a setup. The garage that we have here is pretty small, but the inside of the house is massive. So this right here, where we are right now, this is gonna be our workspace for the series. We got a lot of space in here. It's essentially the size of like 1.5 garage spaces. And the best thing is it's air conditioned because it's inside the house. So the first thing that I gotta do though is protect this floor. So I got some, they're actually exercise mats, and not mats, but it's like flooring used if you want to like set up like a home gym with like a squat rack or things like that. I was looking at like getting actual like garage flooring in here, but what I liked about the exercise mat is, or the exercise flooring, is it's foam, it's padded, so you don't have to worry about it scratching the floor. It's nice to stand on, and it's still firm enough because it's made to support like squat racks and things like that. So I've got six packs here of this stuff. Oh, these are also my dogs. I don't know if you guys are dog fans or if you're new to the channel and don't know them, but this is Sierra, this is Lacey, and somewhere else in the house is Jackson, our youngest, and there he is. Okay. What's up, Jackson? Jackson, what's up, bud? What's up, bud? He's yeah, they're all sleeping, which they do like 90% of the day. So we've got 6 packs of, I think there's 4 tiles, and they're 2 feet by 2 feet. So it'll fill not the entire room, but the majority of the room. So we'll have a lot of space to like have tools and things like that. I'll bring in my tool chest and all of my stuff. So we're gonna be working in here. I'm gonna be ordering some lights. So we're gonna have super nice lighting because, well, first of all, we have windows on all the sides, but there's no light in here, like an actual light. So I want to have an actual like production quality lighting in here so we can make things look real nice.
A few moments later.
Okay, so it's actually a few days later, but I got this entire room cleared out. We got nothing in here. Hopefully it's not too echoey. I gotta figure that out because there's definitely an echo. I'm sure once I start getting some stuff in here, I'm gonna get the tool chest in here. I'm gonna get the bike in here, probably a few other things. I don't know, maybe I should hang up like blankets on the wall. But check this out. So I didn't record any of this. I probably should have, but I had like no light anymore. Here's the flooring. It's pretty awesome. It's really nice. It's like slightly cushiony, but pretty firm. So there's not going to be any issue with putting the bike on here. It's going to maintain, or kind of like maintain its form pretty well. The bike's not gonna like sink into it. It's not sitting on a pillow or anything. But I really like it. It's really nice. I think it looks pretty cool with the checker pattern. I think it looks nice. And it fills the room pretty nice too. But what we're gonna do now is actually take the Grom out. We're gonna go for a ride. I'm gonna talk about some things. We'll get off the bike, get some shots, and talk about what we're gonna be doing in this build, because I know that's why you guys are here. I know you guys want to know what we've got coming. I'm pretty excited for it, so let's get out on the road. This is full throttle. It's honestly pretty surprising how much faster my Ruckus feels, and probably is, than a stock Grom. Like downhill. Creeping 54. Yep, I'm not I'm not getting anything extra out of this. This is so freaking insane, man. But that's why we're doing the build, guys. That is why we're doing the build series. Build series season 4, Honda Grom edition. I'm so excited. So in this little ride, I'm gonna be talking about the full build plans. I don't normally do this. I don't normally reveal everything before we do it. I'm not gonna give you everything. You're still gonna be surprised by the stuff we do, but I'm gonna give you guys a general idea about the game plan, the end goal that we are trying to get with this build. And this little ride kind of worked out because Abby texted me like a few minutes before I was about to go out ride. She was like, hey, do you want to go meet me for dinner? Because she was out with Aylin doing a little hike. So I was like, yeah, I was going out to ride anyway, so it works out. Now, if you want to see the video talking about why I got the Grom and kind of why I wanted to do a build on a Honda Grom, I'll link that video down in the description. That kind of gets you in the mindset of, you know, why we're doing this. But I got two things that have kind of been a big draw and a big motivating factor, a big inspiration piece, I guess, for this build. Number one is the Ruckus. I was so happy with how that build turned out and what we were able to do with a scooter. A freaking scooter. It comes as a 49cc bike from the factory, and we made it into not only something that is a heck of a lot faster than it is stock, but so much cooler, so much more unique, something that you don't typically see. And that is what we're going to be doing with this. Now, the second big piece of inspiration is an old friend of mine, Raul, who has a slammed Grom that I raced on my Ruckus at the spring break meetup a couple of years ago. It was a couple of years ago? Maybe it was this past year. No, I think it was this past year because that was the one I took the Ruckus to. He has a Grom. He lives back in Houston, I believe, is where he's at now. And man, that thing is beautiful. One of the most gorgeous looking Groms I've ever seen. I love it. It's so nice, and I'll put that video down in the description as well so you guys can see it. But man, he's just gone far and above anything else that I've seen in a Grom. Because typically, with you guys that are watching this video, if you watch a lot of other motovloggers, the main bikes that you're seeing, or the main Groms that you're seeing, are used for stunning or just hooning around town. And that's fine, like that's awesome. That's a great use for a Grom. But I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to just get the Grom and do something that everyone else has already done. That's not what I do here with my builds. I wanted to do something unique. So although we're going to be taking a little bit of inspiration from Raul's build, more of like the mentality. His bike is a show bike. Like, he takes his Grom to events where he shows his Grom, like in competition. And that is, you know, something that I'd like to do with this Grom. So it's going to be built more as a show bike than, you know, a hooning functionality bike. But don't get me wrong, this thing is not going to be without function. However, that function is not town hooning. Although I guess this could be a hooning, but just not in the same sense that you guys typically see on YouTube. And I just feel like I'm rambling. I'm going to make this more of a drag bike. I want to make one of the faster Groms that you guys have seen. Not the fastest. We all know that one dude who stuck a Ducati, what was it? I'm pretty sure it was an 1199 Panigale engine into a Grom. Now, I don't think that thing lasted very long. I could be wrong. To be honest, I don't even think I have seen a video on that thing. I'm pretty sure I just saw it in pictures. Proof of concept, I guess. But no, we're not going to be doing a 1000cc plus engine in a Grom. But we will be doing an engine swap. I couldn't just leave you guys with some clutch mods and a big bore kit. You know, we had to freaking scrap the whole engine, which kind of sucks because this is a very nice engine. It's only got 2,400 miles. So if you're in the market for a stock Grom engine, hook me up. Or not hook me up, hit me up. But I'm really excited for that. We had a good time doing the engine swap on the Ruckus, but the GY6 swap on the Ruckus is a pretty common thing. Like, it's not new. Like, people have been doing this thing for years. The swap we're doing on the Grom now, while not strange, is not super common. Like, not a ton of people have done it, so I'm pretty excited for it. We are doing a 300 swap on the Grom. Now, the Grom comes with a 125cc. That's why it's called the MSX 125 outside the States. So that's going to be a really fun part of the build, getting that engine and fitting this in the thing. I'm really excited for it. I'm going to park right over here in this nice little shade spot of this tree, and when we get back on, I'll tell you guys about all the other stuff we're going to be doing on this bike. Let's go! No, I probably should put it in gear first. Oh, nope, can't exit there. Okay. Turn around. Dinner was great. Went to this Mexican place that just opened here. Not bad. Skirt! Y'all hear that? That little downshift. Got no slipper clutch on this thing. God, that acceleration is so freaking slow. I can't wait to do the engine swap on this thing. It's gonna be so nice. You're probably wondering what else we're gonna do on this thing. Well, I got a lot of plans. Like I said, this is meant to be a show bike build, which I don't even know if I want to call it that, because again, I want to make it stupid fast. Okay, that has got to go. It probably won't go, but I don't understand why they did this. They stuck the horn above the turn signal, which is like different from almost every other motorcycle. Usually the horn is below the turn signal. So like I go to cancel and I just hit the horn. One of the main things that come with the 300 swap, it's got to hold down that power. You floor that thing in first gear and it's gonna want to come up. So this goes hand in hand with the show bike-ness of this bike. But we're gonna be doing a little ruckus action and slamming and stretching this thing. I know some people may not be a fan of that, but again, I'm not trying to go the same route that everybody else on YouTube has gone with their Groms, because that's not the function that I'm looking for with this. I want to make something super pretty for show and handles the power of the 300 engine. So you kind of have to do a stretch with that. And if you do a stretch, you're going to want to lower it as well. So we're going to be going those two routes. Something that will look a little bit better with the stretch and with the bigger engine is a wider rear wheel. So we're going to be swapping both the front wheel and rear wheel. Of course, you guys know I got a powder coat stuff. We're going to be doing a full disassembly. That is going to start next week. These build episodes will come out every single Sunday next week. Will be disassembly starting, then we'll be able to access the frame and anything else that we need to powder coat. Of course, we'll probably be doing in stages because I still got to get all the parts and everything, and I'm sure there'll be little things here and there that we're going to want to get powder coated. Oh, look at that, 57. Nah, we're shooting for 100, guys. But I want to find a good spot that we can pull over here, something that'll look a little bit nice, and I can pull out the nice camera so I can talk about more of this. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop. Ooh, that sun is bright. Jeez. I'm gonna pull over here for a second because we got to do a 0 to 60 run, because it's gonna change drastically once we do the engine swap, and I want to have a little baseline. Well, we won't hit 60, so 50, 0 to 50. There we go, 50. Oh, 61, 62. Let's go. Let's go. 63. 64. Alrighty, found a very nice parking lot, super scenic, got some nice trees out here. Let's talk about some of the other stuff that we're gonna do. So I already told you guys about the engine swap. That's gonna kind of dictate a lot of the stuff that we do on this bike, because obviously a lot of the performance mods are based on the stock engine. In fact, all of them are. And so a lot of the performance mods that we can do are now going to be on a different engine. So things like doing the AIS removal and all those air filter mods, all of those things are going to be done on the new engine. Pretty excited for that. Same thing with the exhaust. We're not going to be doing a regular stock Grom exhaust. It's going to be a modified exhaust for the new 300 engine that we're going to be putting in. There's a few that I'm leaning towards, but that's something that I'm going to be turning towards the patrons that are supporting the series to help decide. So if you want to be part of that, go head over to the Patreon link down in the description. Get your support in, join the Discord server, and you guys can help make those decisions. Along with a lot of the other stuff that I'm going to be talking about. Obviously, this is a stock Grom completely. We still have the fender on the back. That has to go. So fender, obviously, regular delete. There's a lot of different companies that do those. Probably gonna go with TST Industries because they make great stuff and that's who I always use. We can do tail light. The seat is one of the things I'm most excited for. You guys know I always do a custom seat on the builds that I do. We did Louis Moto on the R3. We did a custom one by Midnight Customs on the Ruckus. The CRF, we had the seat from Seat Concepts. So this one, probably gonna be doing custom as well. Really excited for that. Kind of a custom mold on that. It's not gonna have the sort of double up that it has here with the passenger seat. That's not gonna be necessary. Of course, we'll get rid of the regular rear sets. Those are gonna go, we'll do custom, or not custom, but we'll do aftermarket rear sets for those. One of the areas, calipers. I haven't quite decided on what route to go with those, but the whole brake system is gonna need to be changed because obviously we're gonna be able to hit a lot higher top speed on this, and you're gonna wanna be able to stop that. So the stock Grom brakes, not gonna do. Same thing with the forks and the rear suspension. Well, obviously we're gonna be lowering it, so the rear suspension will be changed anyways. But with the heavier 300 engine, those things are gonna be holding a lot more weight. So those are gonna be changed out. The whole panels or plastics, those are all gonna be changed as well. Haven't decided on a color. That's something that I'm gonna be turning towards the patrons as well. We won't be maintaining any of the silver or anything like this, or the stock factory kind of pearl white that's on here, which is extremely dirty because I haven't washed it since I got to Georgia. Handlebars, those are gonna be changed. I really wanna do a new triple tree with actual clip-ons rather than having an actual handlebar that's more of like for dirt bikes, stunning Groms, things like that. I think the coilovers, or not the coilovers, the clip-ons will look really nice with this and kind of have a good form for having a bike that's lowered, stretched, and is meant more for drag racing than it is for kind of hooning around on a Grom. The dash is, I think, probably gonna go because we're not gonna be able to use that with the new engine. The motor that we're gonna be putting in, I'm basically telling you everything here, so you'll probably be able to guess what we're gonna be putting in, but I'm not gonna outright say it because I gotta have a very tiny piece of mystery here. But with the motor that we're putting in, we'll be able to use the harness that comes with that bike to go with this, and I believe we can use the same dash that goes with that bike as well. It's very similar, if I remember correctly, to the one that comes with the Grom, so that'll be a pretty good fit. Here's one thing, didn't even think about this, but I probably should have covered this right from the start. The headlight, the whole front fascia of this bike, I really like it. I'm a huge fan of how the 2017 looks. It's one of the best changes that they made from the original Grom to the upgrade in, I believe, 2017. It looks really cool, but I still want to do something that's more custom. So gonna be doing a headlight swap on that, new brackets, and putting something unique in there. Not set on that, but I'm leaning towards a round headlight, something more akin to a cafe racer. It's not gonna be a cafe racer build, but I really like the look of that light on these bikes. Like I said, new rear sets, whole assembly right here gonna get replaced. Kickstand got to be replaced when we lower the bike, so that's gonna be something that's shorty. And then everything else is gonna be more on the kind of creative cosmetic appearance side. A lot of the stuff is gonna be replaced on this Grom. Obviously it's gonna be staying more of a Grom than the Ruckus stayed a stock Ruckus, but for the most part, a lot of the stuff on this bike is gonna be replaced. So if you wanna be a part of it, if you wanna help decide the stuff that we do to this bike, because there's a lot of stuff that we have to decide. It's not all set in stone. You guys are gonna be a big part of this. So if you wanna be a part of it, again, Patreon link down in the description. But I gotta get back. We're gonna get home. We're gonna get this thing into the room where the build is gonna happen. Get it in there, ready to go. And next week, we're gonna be starting the disassembly on this bike. I'm super excited. I'll see you guys at home.
Does your camera have night vision? It's dark in this room.
It's a little dark. You can't really see the bike. We gotta film during the day because Aylin's room is directly above that room, which is fine. I wasn't planning on filming not during the day. Yeah, Grom is here inside the build room. And that concludes episode 1 of the Grom build. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So glad to have you guys here. Videos will come out every single Sunday, so make sure you check back next Sunday and check back through the week for all the other videos that I put out. Again, if you guys want to be a part of this build, if you guys want to win this bike when we finish it, head over to the Patreon page. The link is down in the description. I've been Motonosity. You guys have been awesome. Remember, life's bred with horsepower. Keep life lived, and I'll see you guys in the next one.